Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. As you can tell by the setup, we are having another cooking segment. Before we move any further, stop what you're doing and subscribe to my channel because you're gonna love it here. I guarantee you, you're gonna love it here. Subscribe. Today on the menu, we are making some delicious Haitian food. And what I'm making today, it is snapper, it's whole snapper, but in Creole, it is called Poisson Gros Sel. And it's pretty much like a steam fish. And the flavor is more of a citrusy flavor, but I gotta show you for you to really understand what I'm talking about. So, enough talking, let's jump right into it. I'm gonna go ahead and show you everything. So that way, if you wanna make this dish, baby, I got you. Let's get started. All right, so I've cleaned the fish from inside and out, and I do have a video where I cleaned a fish. So if you're interested on how to clean a fish, just in case you're not sure, I do have a video. It is a video of me frying a fish, but prior I did show the entire process on how to clean it. So if you're interested, check that video out. I cleaned it in and out, so you cannot smell the fish. Because one thing about fish, I do not like eating fish from just anyone because, baby, we do not want to smell fish when we're eating fish. Okay. All right, so as I mentioned earlier, I am making what is called Poisson Gros Sel. That is a Haitian style fish that I will be making. And with this type of fish, you do not need a lot of heavy seasoning. You want to kind of keep the seasoning a little simple because you know your girl loves to season her food, and it will be seasoned. It will be nicely seasoned. However, we're not going to use a lot of excessive heavy seasonings. So the first thing that I'm going to be using is the garlic salt. And I do have about 5 fish in here, and they're pretty big. I'm not sure if it show you how big they are on camera, but they are huge. So like I've said in the past, I'm more of a eyeballer. I eyeball my food. I don't really measure, but I am trying to get better with the measuring. So that way, if you want to follow my recipe, you're able to do so. So the next thing that we're going to be using is the Maggi. And this is 1 teaspoon. All right, so I'm putting 1 teaspoon. And I will be putting another teaspoon, so that will be 2 teaspoons. All right, so the next thing that I will be adding is the garlic powder. And I will be using about 2 teaspoons of the garlic powder. Okay, so what I showed previously was, well, it is the garlic powder, but it is the garlic salt powder. So the next thing that I will be using is regular garlic powder, and I'm just gonna use about 1 tablespoon. All right, so the next thing that I will be adding is onion powder. Okay, and I am using 2 tablespoons of the onion powder. Next, I'm adding some black pepper. So I have 1 tablespoon of the black pepper. All right, so the next thing that I will be adding in here is the lemon pepper. So this type of fish, it has more of a citrusy flavor to it. So I will be adding the lemon pepper, and I am going to add 1 teaspoon. And then I'm adding another, so this will be 2 teaspoons of the lemon pepper. All right, and the next thing that I will be adding is some complete seasoning. So I have about 1 tablespoon, and I will add another tablespoon, so that will make it 2. All right, and then the last thing that I will be adding is some salt. So I just have 1 tablespoon of salt. Okay, and I'm also adding some parsley, and we know parsley doesn't have any flavor. It's just more for decoration. I just like to see parsley in my food for whatever reason. So I'm just gonna add a cap full of the parsley. All right, so as I mentioned previously, I did squeeze some lime. So this is the fresh lime juice that I did squeeze. And this is about it's about 5 lime, and they're really, really small. So that's the reason why I use about 5, because it really didn't have a lot of juice. If they were bigger, I probably would have used less, but because they're pretty small, I use about 5. So this is the lime juice. I'm just gonna pour that in here. And this will give it a really nice flavor. And again, this fish is supposed to have kind of like a lemony, citrusy taste going on. So I would recommend that you do put fresh lime when you're making this fish. But I like to put fresh lime juice in pretty much every type of meat that I make, but especially this one, you don't want to skip this part. I mean, you could use the already squeezed lime juice, but I wouldn't recommend it. I just prefer using the fresh, the fresh lime. And then voila, the fish is all seasoned to perfection, seasoned in and out. So we are going to put this away, and I would recommend to marinate your fish the day before, even 2 days before if possible. But if you cannot, 2 hours will work just fine. But if you can, I would highly recommend that you marinate it at least the night before. With this meal, I am also making what is called sauce pois, and that is like a bean sauce. We do make different types of bean sauce, but the one that I'm making today will be with the green peas, and this is what I'll be using. Oop. This is the bag that I'll be using, so let's get started on how I make these. I'm using about 4 cups, so I already put 2 cups in here. This is another 2 cups, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to rinse this as well. All right, so I do have about 7 garlic in here, garlic heads. I also put some cloves in here. It's not a specific amount. I just kind of like put a little cap full of the cloves and I dropped it in the water. And I'm also now going to add the beans in here. And I did clean the beans off camera. So I'm just gonna put it right in the pot. Also adding some oil in here, not too much. So we're done with the beans for now. I'm going to leave it uncovered on medium low and let it cook for about 45 minutes to an hour, because the peas, these type of peas, they tend to cook kind of fast. So I'll check within 45 minutes. If 45 minutes they're not ready, I will leave it for the full hour. All right, so the beans are done cooking, and I haven't made this type of bean sauce in so long. I didn't realize, I know I mentioned that it does cook pretty quick compared to other beans, but I didn't realize how quick these cook. So I believe I said previously that it takes about, I would wait 45 minutes to an hour. No, literally, I want to say maybe within 30 minutes, they were ready. As you can see, they're really, really, really soft. So now I'm going to go ahead and blend it. But yeah, I'm glad I checked, because had I not checked, it would not have been a good thing, because we don't want them to be so soft to the point where you can't even blend it. And it literally almost got to that point, if you can see. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and start the blending process.
She's a cooking beauty. When she's in the kitchen doing cooking duty. I said when she's in the kitchen doing cooking duty. She's a cooking beauty. A show enough cooking beauty. She's also a model. That's right, she's a model. Sit yourself down for a minute and check out what she does in the kitchen. 5 hours later, you'll still be watching this lady. She's just that amazing.
The beans are blended, so now I am going to strain them. I tied up some parsley. Oh, it's leaking, dripping. So I tied up some parsley and thyme and I did wash them. So now I'm gonna go ahead and put that in here in the bean sauce. I also have a Scotch bonnet pepper and I did wash this as well. And this is also going in the pot. I also have some garlic that I washed and this also is going in the pot. I also have a can of coconut milk. I did shake it well. And this also will be going in the pot and I will be adding the whole can. So depending on how thick you want your bean sauce, you'll decide how much water you want to put in here. So I'm not going to put too much because I do want it to be a little on the thicker side. So I'm just going to add a little water. Okay, so just by eyeballing, I want to say this is probably just 1 cup. I currently have the stove on low temperature. So now I'm just going to go ahead and get ready to add my seasoning. And you want to start light. You want to start light and then just taste it as you go. So that way you won't over season it. So I'm not sure if I showed you this, but I just added some seasoned salt. Next, I will be adding some Maggi. Again, we're just gonna go light until we taste to see if it requires more than what I've already added. And I will be adding some garlic salt. I am adding some plain garlic powder. And I will also be adding some black pepper. Okay, so we're gonna taste it before we actually add any salt in here. Okay, so let me just mix it all in and I'll taste to see if it requires any more than what I just put in here. Okay, so it does need a little salt, so I'm just gonna go ahead and put a little bit more. Well, not a little bit more because I haven't put salt at all. Okay, so this is the amount of salt that I will be adding in here. And like I always say, it's always good to start off light with the seasoning. And then you can just adjust the taste and add more as you go. Because once your food is salty, you can't really reverse that. But if it doesn't have a lot of seasoning, you can always gradually add more as you go. Okay, and it is perfect. It doesn't need anything else. It tastes really good. I will also just add a little of this pepper in here, not too much, because we do have the Scotch bonnet pepper in here for flavor. And it is whole, it's not busted or anything. So it's not gonna make the bean sauce spicy. It's just for a little added flavor. So I can add a little of this just for a little kick, not too much. And that's optional. I like my food spicy, so you don't have to add that. You don't have to add that one, the pepper in here. That's just me. I just like things spicy. But the amount of pepper I just added in here, it's not going to be spicy at all, unless you're just one of those people that just can't take an ounce, a tiny bit of spice. You're not going to taste it. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and taste again. It is delicious. So again, I do have the stove on low temperature. It is on the lowest. And I'm just gonna let this slow cook uncovered for about 35 to 40 minutes, just so all the seasoning could, you know, really get up in there and just thicken up a little bit. And again, the thickness just depends on you, your preference. Some people like theirs a little bit on the liquidy side, and others, such as myself, like it a little thicker. So you add water in here based on the consistency you want it.
She's a cooking beauty when she's in the kitchen doing cooking duty. I said when she's in the kitchen doing cooking duty, she's a cooking beauty. A show enough cooking beauty. She's also a model. That's right, she's a model. Sit yourself down for a minute and check out what she does in the kitchen. 5 hours later, you'll still be watching this lady. She's just that amazing, with a friendly personality, bubbling with comedy. This cooking beauty is quite funny. Here on YouTube, she does a bit of it all. Cooking, modeling, traveling, and vlogs. So remember her name, man. Cooking beauty, and do your duty. Watch, like, and subscribe, and enjoy the vibe. She's a cooking beauty when she's in the kitchen doing cooking duty. I said when she's in the kitchen doing cooking duty, she's a cooking beauty. A show enough cooking beauty. She's also a model. That's right, she's a model. Cooking beauty. Cooking beauty. Cooking beauty. Cooking beauty. Cooking beauty.
So now it's time to tackle the fish. I'm just adding some oil in here. Also going to add some butter. Adding a little garlic. And I'm also adding some of my épices in here. I'm just gonna put like 2 little spoons. Okay, and I am going to add a little water in here. All right, so I covered this for about a minute, and I'm just gonna add some onions on here, well, in here. Okay, so again, I do have the stove on medium high, and I did let this steam for about a minute with the lid on top. So now I am getting ready to add the fish in here. All right, so we have the first one. Adding the second. Hopefully they all could fit in here because I have about 5. I'm not sure if all 5 will fit. Probably not. All right, so I was able to fit all the fish in here. So we do have about 4. I don't know why I thought I had 5. I think I said that previously, but it's actually 4. And I did manage to fit everything in here. So I'm just gonna cover this for about 5 minutes before I add the water in here. All right, so I have 2 cups of water in here. And what you're seeing in here is from the seasoning from the container that had the fish in there. I just put water in the container and I put it in here. So that way it can grab all the seasoning that was in that container. So now I'm gonna go ahead and put the water in the fish. Once again, this is 2 cups. And so I do have parsley and thyme that is tied together, as well as Scotch bonnet. I'm just gonna go ahead and put that in here as well. And this kind of fish, it is supposed to kind of have a little kick to it. So I do have some red pepper. I think this is habanero or Scotch, but I just cut it up a little bit and just gonna put that all over. And we know fish does not take a very long time to cook. So I'm just gonna go ahead and place the the lid back. I'm gonna go ahead and place the lid on here, and I'm going to let it cover for another 10 minutes. Okay, so it's been about 5 minutes, and I'm just coming back just to make sure that the top is cooked as well. So I don't want to flip the fish over so it won't break. So what I'm doing is just taking some of the juice and just making sure that the top is properly getting cooked as well. I mean, I can flip it, but I prefer not to. So like I said, it's been 5 minutes. I came back just to make sure that I'm adding some of the sauce, the juice, on top to make sure that it's cooking properly. And now I'm gonna go ahead and put the lid back on. Okay, so it's been about 10 minutes. And as I mentioned previously, this type of fish, it is supposed to have a citrusy taste going on. So I did squeeze some fresh lime, and I'm gonna go ahead and put the juice in here, the lime juice in here. And I squeezed about five of them, and they were really small. So it might sound like it's a lot, but the limes, they were pretty small. All right, so I added the citrus in here, the juice, the lime juice. And then now I'm going to cover it back up and let it cook for another 10 minutes. I almost forgot, before I let it cook for another 10 minutes, I am going to add some butter in here. Okay, so it has been 10 minutes. So now I am going to add my veggies in here. I did cut up some bell peppers, orange and green, and also some onions. I'm just gonna go ahead and put those in here. And when I'm making this type of fish, I do like to add my veggies last because I do like for the veggies to be a little crunchy. I don't like soggy veggies in my food. Okay, so now I'm adding the green one as well. Now the last thing I will be adding is the onions. Oops. Okay, so once I've added the veggies, the fish is pretty much ready. So now I'm gonna go ahead and remove it from the stove because I don't want it to continue cooking and then it's gonna break apart. So once I remove it from the stove, because of the pot, it is still hot, so it's still going to semi-cook. So yeah, you don't wanna leave it on here on the stove because if not, like I said, even if you turn it off, it's still going to cook. So we're gonna remove it from the stove and place it to the side. Okay, and this is the fish. I am all done. It smells delicious. When I tell you this smells so good, it is so, and I did taste the sauce. The sauce tastes really good as well. So I have enough gravy for the rice because I'm gonna pour this over the rice, and I do have enough. And the green pea beef sauce is all done. It is ready as well. I did let it cook for about, slow cook that is, for about 40 minutes. Okay, and I did make some rice. And I've showed videos on how to make rice on several occasions. So I didn't really go step by step as far as the rice go, but it is ready. And this is how it looks. All right, so I'm just gonna give you another look, a closer look of the rice. And it is really fluff. Yes, delicious. I am done. And it smells so delicious. I cannot wait to eat. So I did show a clip before, so I'm sure you know how it looks by now, but this is the masterpiece. We have fish, whole snapper, red snapper. Let me turn it around. Let me see if I could bring the camera down just a little bit. And then here, okay, so we have the green pea bean sauce. We have the rice. And then of course, we have the fish. So, you know what time it is? It is time for the taste test. And let's hope it is still hot because I like my food scorching hot, but you know, I gotta take pictures and all that good-ish. So yeah, so we're gonna see if it's still warm, if it's still hot. But I don't know what I want to start with. Okay, so let's start with the rice first, okay? The taste test, the taste test. So we're gonna start with the rice. Open up. Don't be shy. You like it? I know. My turn. Okay, so let's put this heavy plate down. Okay, because, yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and let's try it with the bean sauce. Give you a closer look with the bean sauce. Woo. This is the type of food when it says tastes so good, make you want to slap your mama. Baby, this it right here. Just tell your mama I'm sorry in advance, because this food right here, yeah. Oh my God, it tastes so good. Let's taste the fish. Oh my God. This is real, authentic Haitian food, okay? Baby, you ain't finna get this at no restaurant. This is restaurant worthy, okay? This right here. Okay, let's do the fish. Okay, oh my, it's heavy. Okay. This is the fish. Baby, this thing heavy, okay? This thing heavy. This is the fish. Let's try the fish. No words. No words. Oh my God. Whew. No words, okay? delicious. The tail. So you already know what time it is. It is a big back break. So let me finish. Let me enjoy this off camera, because baby, I ain't trying to eat all in your face. Okay, I ain't trying to do that to you. I'm not trying to torture you like that. Okay, I'm not going to torture you. So let me enjoy, and I'll be back. When I tell you that food was absolutely, absolutely delicious. Delicious. Okay, very delicious. So as always, let me know in the comment section if you have ever tried this type of fish before. Once again, it is called Poisson Gros Sel. We use red snapper when we're making this dish. And again, the name, not the red snapper, isn't called Poisson Gros Sel in Creole. Just, to clarify that, the type of fish, how it's made, how it's prepared, it is called Poisson Gros Sel. But in the comment section, let me know if this is something you've ever tried before, or if it's something that you would try, and if you will be making it. Let me know in the comment section. Thank you for also tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the video. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Do not forget. And also turn on your notification bell, so that way when I drop another goodie, you will be the first to know. Until the next one, love ya. Bye.